Hey everyone, my name is Taps, and today we're going to be diving into the metaverse world of NFTs and taking a look at a project that's been building out. It's actually more of a 3-for-1 kind of project. Thanks to my guest today, Kevin or Quigley of Purple Penguin, who has built their project on the Nemesis Metaverse on nemesis.io and is partnering with John of Carbonbase and Project Ark. Today, they're going to share with us what this metaverse actually looks like, what is the Purple Penguin project and the Pebble token, how the World Wildlife Fund and Project Ark are involved, where the overall metaverse space is going, and some added insight on what the metaverse NFTs will be. Kevin, John, thanks so much for hopping on.
Thanks for having us.
Where are you guys located? Where are you guys calling in from?
I'm from Toronto, and John, where are you based?
I'm in Ottawa. We're both Canadians.
All right, I'm just south of you in California. So I'm kind of curious. We've been speaking a little bit, Quigley, and we found each other because we're part of the OMI fam. So I'm kind of curious. Are you an OMI investor? Veve collector, or what's your relationship there?
Yeah, that was really my first love and NFT addiction. At one point, me and the girlfriend had a good talk about my habits with Veve and how into it I was. So yeah, through that, I met a lot of people in the community and was involved in a Discord group that I believe was kind of how we met as well. Mm-hmm. And yeah, just through collecting and that, I'm a OMI holder. I've got a lot of the season 1 stuff from Veve. Originally, I had connected with David Yu about organizing a convention for the NFT space and for Veve collectors. And that was really how Purple Penguin came to be born, was that we needed a way to fund the event. So we started looking into tokens, and we developed our Pebble token, and then we started looking into getting more involved in the NFT space so that we can help build the infrastructure. And through that, we thought that we could take it a step further and bring in a environmental advocacy element and help give back to people, because my dad actually used to run a toy drive, and this was our way of kind of continuing a family tradition and giving back to our investors and giving back to the environment and people beyond ourselves with our opportunities. So I went from being a hardcore collector with Veve and with different, Veve and different OpenSea type of opportunities, and then realizing that, I could also get involved in this space and bring my experiences through gaming and I used to work in esports and the music industries. So I saw an opportunity to blend all these different spaces, like investing in esports and gaming and music and environmental advocacy all under one roof, which turned out to be Purple Penguin and our Nemesis Metaverse. Mm-hmm. And then to take us, be able to give back to people and ensure that what we're actually doing is going to help the environment. We were able to bring in Project Ark and ensure that what we're doing is conscious of the environment. So we're able to mint things, our NFTs, carbon neutral, and also make sure that when we're giving back, the charities we're giving back to are actually going to use the funds that we give them for, an actual real cause instead of us lining a pocket.
Awesome. There's a lot of great things you just said there. I'm happy to hear about your experience in the space. I like hearing that, it has a great value prop to it, like a great message behind why you started doing it. And it kind of just grew from there. And it looks like you guys are doing a great job on building it out. So I think if it was started to kind of build something towards like an Con, then, it seems like you guys have been doing really well. So hopefully we do see that in the future. But I'm not so familiar, I guess, on the Carbonbase and the Project Ark side. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about that side as well, John.
Right on. So first of all, Kevin, love that guy. Like everything Kevin does just makes my heart melt. He's a good guy in it for the right reasons. So when he first approached us, we were nothing but happy to make this, this project happen. Carbonbase is a company that is a climate change fintech company. Was a startup out of Hong Kong. And so we help companies and individuals work with different ESG models and sustainability metrics. And basically we were privy to a TED Talk with one of the heads of the WWF, who was telling a story about holding one of the last endangered rhinos in her arms while it died. And that's a story that, you know, if you got a heart in your chest, you're going to feel it.
Yeah.
And so we truly, man, it hits you hard. So our CEO, Max, who was, you know, worked for NASA, worked in the Valley, this guy's smart. He believed that NFTs represent an opportunity for social impact. And so about, I don't know, let's say 10 months ago, I came in and we partnered with the World Wildlife Fund Panda Labs, which is their innovation wing, which is directly in charge of any and all ideas that sort of help empower local communities to become conservationists themselves. So our Project Ark is entirely born of a partnership with the WWF Panda Labs division, which looks to directly fund animal and environmental conservation efforts around the world. So right now, the average person thinks that an NFT is a JPEG. It's just an image, and that's what they call
JPEGs.
Yeah, right. But that's foolish. NFTs can be inspirational, emotionally evocative, educational, metaverse, like GLB files in VR. It could be AR. It could be anything under the sun. It could be consumer protection for a company. It could be supply chain analytics. There's nothing that an NFT can't be, but it's just that art and JPEGs were the first one to make it viable. What we believe at Project Ark is that if we pair up artists that are passionate about telling a story, that want to give back via the majesty of their art and tell something that's worth telling, and while getting paid for it, we can connect them with collectors that are purpose driven, that want to collect something that's inherently valuable and can create value in the secondary market, but also they want to know every single dollar they spend goes. And we want to connect both of those people, the artist and the collector, with the project itself. We want to connect them with projects that not only have a story to tell, not only that need money and resources on the ground, but that can legitimately change the way in which we interact with our natural world if we just present them with, an NFT that really hits somebody in the heart, really hits somebody in the soul. So that's what Project Ark is based about. We want to create triple win scenarios between the artist, collector, and the project. And we're just trying to put money in the pockets of people that are going to change the world.
That's awesome. I, again, love the message behind it. And I guess I'm curious, how did the partnership with Purple Penguin come to be? Because, I saw a lot of posts from Purple Penguin. I didn't really know what it was for quite some time until we started talking and I actually saw the metaverse that was built in there. And now hearing this added layer of partnerships that you guys keep building, especially now, working with Project Ark. I mean, it seems like it's growing into a much bigger thing. So I'm curious, do you work with other crypto projects, or how did the whole partnership with Project Penguin come to be?
Yeah, so for us, we started with our Pebble currency as our first way to raise funding. And then, as you're aware, some friends of ours did the Junkyard Dogs project, and they're able to raise a lot of funding through NFTs and give back. And they were able to give back to some dog rescue charities. And this is something that I was working on at the same time as they were kind of doing that as well. And I knew that this is an opportunity to take it a step further. And I'm also a collector of NFTs as well. So I collected, I found the Metaverse actually by collecting a Slacker Duck Pond NFT, and they have a Metaverse in the Nemesis as well. So they introduced me to the Nemesis, and that was how I found them, which was fantastic. And I figured, this worked great with Slacker Duck Pond. Let's try it again. So I swung the bat and I purchased an untamed elephant. And through that community, I had connected with a DJ who was in that community, and he gifted me a sewer rat and introduced me to John. So it was really just by being a collector and being in the Discords and chatting that I was able to build this partnership. Matt is his name?
Yeah.
I honestly only know him as his Discord name and as his Twitter handle.
He's amazing. He's one of the nicest guys in the world.
He does seem like a really nice guy, honestly. He seems very genuine.
Purple Terry. He's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, so through meeting through Purple Terry, I was able to extend, and through meeting Slacker Duck Pond, that's really how we were able to take our idea of a Binance token and turn it into a gaming, blockchain entertainment, educational platform. So we had a mini game last week where you were collecting recycling cans and collecting the bottles and cleaning them up to tell our story that the penguins are coming to our metaverse, because very soon you're going to be able to be a penguin in our metaverse. And we had to clean it up and tell the environmental story of, the importance of cleaning up after yourself. And that's our way of educating and pulling all of these stories together in these partnerships into one space.
And I will say this. I will say this one thing is that like that was a really good game. Like that Metaverse game, as far as Metaverse games go, was pretty intricate, like pretty high def and pretty valuable. It's something that not a lot of organizations or projects have. So Kev here, like the guy works his dick off. Like he works so damn hard to do like the best possible work and bring in the best possible people. I was incredibly impressed when I saw that game. Like Nemesis.io, is it IO?
It's the Nemesis.io.
Yeah, IO. It was incredible when I saw that thing. And the
when I
fact that they
first
could
found
redeem
them,
it for real life tokens, like that was pretty wild. It was
when I
pretty
first
good.
found them, I was sold right away. Their graphics and their ability to make a game enjoyable. Like that's just their mini games, right? We have a full-on battle arena game that we're releasing them later on, where you can battle your penguins and upgrade the value of your penguin. And they have something like that going on. Yeah. So this NFT release that we're doing with you, I might as well mention this now, is a early access mint pass to a gaming NFT that we're going to be doing with the Nemesis. So our art team that has drawn for Marvel and DC is going to be drawing us some Mad Max, Contra, A-Team inspired penguins that we call Vagrant Penguins. And then the Nemesis is going to 3D render them into battle arena ready penguins that you can use to upgrade the value and further get involved in getting into the metaverse space. So
that's wild.
Anybody that mints the NFT that we're doing with you, John, gets early access to this game.
Well, I thought we were saving penguins. I didn't know we were killing penguins in the metaverse, but that's nonetheless.
See, that's what actually.
But that's what sells penguins. Like
the NFT degenerates.
That moves money.
They need their
that
thing.
Moves money.
I love
100%.
it. That's what actually sold me on Nemesis too, because at first I looked at it and I thought, wow, this is actually really cool in terms of like what it looks like. It reminds me a lot of what Facebook started building in their metaverse initially. It has kind of a similar layout to it. And how it's reaching a new crowd, right? It's going after the crypto crowd, which we're all about metaverses, right? And eventually the whole rest of the world will catch on to it, and the gaming world too. But what sold me on it was the companions. Like, it's kind of like that blind box style, right? Like you get a bunch of features similar to how like a Bored Ape Yacht Club and other NFT projects. But what I liked was that they had the utility further coming where you could battle them, but also I keep seeing more and more projects that I'm familiar with metaverses that are building. So I saw Purplepenguin, I saw Whelps, which I own 4 dragons. I saw what's the Deadheads or something else that they built, another one, the Slacker Duck Pond, like names that are
bonsai
attached.
trees too.
Bonsai trees, which look at the floor price on bonsais, man. But all of these projects that most are aware of in the space, right? But not so much aware of the Nemesis project. And I did the speed runs, and I'll say, the game looks good. Like the metaverse looks good.
Very
good. Like that they're doing actual, so anyone can do this, by the way. If you go and download Nemesis on an app store, or it's probably gonna be easier on your desktop, but if you go to, I think
it's a lot easier.
Yeah. If you go to the nemesis.io, I think is the website, and I'll put in the details down below. They're doing every couple of days a trial, basically speed run, and you compete to try and get the fastest time. And just for completing the test run, you get 1,200 or so tokens of what's going to be available in the metaverse. So I've done the past 2. There's another one today on Whelps, and if you win, I think you win an NFT, which I haven't won yet. So I've got slow fingers, I guess. But the project looks great, and I'm definitely happy to see what's happening with Purplepenguin in that space and the Nemesis project as a whole. But I've discussed it quite a bit. Is it possible to show us, I guess, what it looks like, right? Because people have heard us talk, but I want them to actually see what this thing looks like.
Yeah, of course. I'll screen share here, show you a little run through. We actually have like a screen set up there because we plan on doing some things with people like John where we can educate about environmental impact as well and do some screenings and stuff so that we can take our metaverse space and not only just game, but also further that education and the integrations of what's possible.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So, like as much as we would love for the average buyer to simply be motivated by impact, that wants to create a different world and impact the lives of penguins, the vast majority of people are going to keep coming back because of an incredible game or a way in which they can benefit or get ahead.
Exactly. People want to be part of a community. So I just need you to set sharing so I can share this here.
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, through like the Project Ark community and their network, we're able to bring in some amazing guest speakers that we probably wouldn't be able to bring in if it was just me and Chantel doing this on our own. And like you mentioned with the Nemesis Bay, by them having multiple metaverses and multiple NFT communities, we're able to all work together to really tell the story and build the infrastructure of what is going to be NFTs and blockchain technology in the communities that we're involved in. So you guys can see this here?
Yes.
This game is awesome. So wow.
So there's no
So
game
good.
right now, but I'll just give you a little run around here. So we've got a bunch of igloos and little penguin characters based on our design of Pebble. There's a couple of them playing volleyball down here that they kind of just hang out all day.
Just to say, it's probably Zoom because it's moving pretty slow, but
yeah, it's not
it's
like
probably
that.
Zoom.
There's
It's very fluid. So yeah, it's hyperframe.
Okay.
So, and I love your companion, man. It looks great. It looks cooler than
Yeah,
mine.
he's a cool little guy. So this the Halloween clown guy I found in the an old Halloween event from last year that was still active. And this little dude here, one of my friends actually that I met through our community, for Chantel's birthday, she sent us a little bit of Ethereum to get her a companion for the Nemesis Metaverse. So we have these little jumper pads. You can jump up here, and we have an art gallery that we've built. So what we wanted to do with our metaverse, myself being an artist, was give an opportunity for artists of different calibers to be displayed. So for example, Jia Hao here, he's an artist out of Singapore. He's worked on a lot of video games and stuff, but he's sort of new to the NFT space. Encode Graphics is a group of artists that have drawn for pretty much every comic book you could possibly imagine. Primal Cipher is the artist that leads that group. This is our friend Keaton. I've actually known Keaton for several years. He's a friend of ours in real life, and we were able to include him as well. So we're able to pair artists that have worked, like this guy here, Dalek, he's been with Nike and stuff. So we're able to pair artists that are high caliber with independent artists and give people a chance to see art that, again, they may play a video game, but they may not go to an art gallery.
Doesn't even feel like a video game, though, right? Doesn't even feel like that. Doesn't even feel like
you're in a game. It's more like wandering through a SimCity.
You're exploring a world. You're literally exploring a world.
And I love that you're enabling the artists, like you're supporting these different artists and what they're doing in the NFT space within your own metaverse, that you're already doing something to help build, like towards charity and towards helping animals. So a lot of different elements in this that is very appealing, especially towards building a community and just helping the world too. So very cool.
Yeah, we don't want to charge anything for the art gallery. We just want it to be something where we can support artists that, could possibly be seen that may not be seen otherwise. So it's just a way to really get people out there, and it provides a link to their site. And then we have this big screen up here under the Northern Lights to host some parties and stuff. So you can, you can dance and shoot off lightning.
The level of development in that game is like far beyond the average metaverse game. Like it is, it's 3D with interactive buttons. Like I've been in a lot of metaverses and it can get pretty boring.
Yeah. And that was why we went with these guys. There's so much opportunity. If you get bored in ours, you go run into the Whelps for a bit. You get bored there, you jump somewhere else for a bit. You find out later on in the evening we're having a concert with a guest DJ, because that's what we did before we got into NFTs. So, we're booking a band or a DJ that we booked from an international show that we would have booked for our festivals if we could host them still. But instead, we'll book them in our metaverse, and you can enjoy it for free, or your NFT is access, because we're going to have an exclusive area that you can only get into by owning one of our NFTs or owning some shares of Pebble. That way, it further gets back to our community. So if you own enough Pebble, that's your concert ticket. And when we get to host concerts in Toronto and in real life again, well, guess what? That's your concert ticket.
So I should probably get some Pebble then, so I can partake in some of these. Which, for those who are watching this video, like none of my videos are ever sponsored like that. I wanted to invite them on this call to actually understand more about the project, because I like what they're doing. I like what the Nemesis is, and I like what it supports. So, the fact that you guys have built this so quickly, because I think, this really released out on Nemesis, like a month or two ago?
Our whole project started May 2nd. So May 2nd, we started the project. Mid-July, we launched the Metaverse, and then early August, we partnered with John and Project Ark to release our first NFTs this Friday.
Oh, it's this Friday. Is that?
But this is the taster, right, Kev? Like, tell them about this.
Yeah, this is just a sample, right?
So originally,
we were going to do a plush penguin here. I'll show you.
Like, how do we participate in the NFT and get like a plush or a purple penguin NFT?
Wow, you'll find out.
Originally, we were going to do these. And then what we're going to do instead now is our NFT release with Project Ark, and we'll be releasing those on your website, correct, John? I'll let you explain that part.
Well, we're going to do it on our website. We're going to do it OpenSea as well. So basically, we have contracts that share the API in the back end, but we do it on the Matic blockchain, so that there's 99.8% less emissions, right? So we were actually the very first group of people that could ever actually mint Matic properly on OpenSea, because when they had first, scientifically proven we were the first ones to do it. When they first did it, there was a massive rollout problem, right? None of the stuff would work. So we figured out a code workaround where actually the number one thing that we can do that Matic can still not do is that we have 0 file size limit. You could upload a 10 gigabyte NFT onto the Matic blockchain, sell it on OpenSea, and it's still going to cost pennies on the dollar for gas fees. So given the fact that we work with, the World Wildlife Fund and multiple other conservation groups, we have to be very cognizant of the fact that, the emissions question, whether or not you agree it's FUD or not, we have to be very cognizant of it. And we have to be very considerate of it. So Polygon and the layer 2 solution seem like the most obvious solution to us, because the money lives on Ethereum. That's where the collectors live, and that's a simple fact. And if we do it on a layer 2 Matic, they can still buy it on Wrapped ETH, and that's where you can still access money, because we could take the high road and do Tezos or Cardano, both wonderful blockchains of wonderful people. But at the end of the day, if I raise $10 versus 1,000, the 1,000 goes in the pockets of the people that are actually doing legitimate work on the ground every single day of their lives. Right. So you kind of got to find a balance, right? But when Kevin approached us for Purple Penguin, he was saying originally it was about carbon offsetting, because we do have a contract that we can carbon offset each individual transaction on the Ethereum blockchain, and then immediately register that up on chain, and then pass it back down to you. But if we do it on Matic, we're 99.8% more sustainable, and we have a platform that is within the week or a week and a half going to be fiat on ramp, so you can pay it via credit card. And the way that we're pricing these first, is it 5,000, Kevin, or is it 8,000?
For the first thing, we're only doing 1,000 as the mint
1,000.
The first 1,000, nice small amount, really
price
cheap.
For the common man, right? It's priced
for
the average person.
We're doing 0.016, so basically around $50 US. It's not a high buy-in. It's something that gives back to the community and gives back to the environment. Really, that was the only goal.
But it gives you access to those games, to those
opportunities,
to learn things.
So will it be on Carbonbase website or Project Ark, or I guess where will?
So you can buy it. You can buy it on project-ark.co, and you can also buy it on OpenSea. But that being said, it's again priced for the common man, so that these kids, predominantly we think about kids, right, Kevin? We talk about this project. We think about
originally it was it's based on a toy drive my dad started, and that was why we wanted to do the plush penguins to begin with, but that logistics got to be a nightmare. So this was our pivot, was a way of still being able to raise funds and get this going and still get something out there. So we'd like to be able to give something that's kid family friendly. Our first NFTs, they're not influenced by Contra and A-Team and Mad Max. They're much more adorable. They're designed by the same art team that has also worked with Marvel and DC. But yeah, this was our entry.
Originally, this was buy the physical copy and then go here to collect your virtual NFT. That's what the original agreement was. But then we found out that international labor laws and bulk purchasing and taxes, it was really rough. So nonetheless, at the end of the day, that game that Kevin presents, if you can bring any one child into a conversation and then show them the role that they play in the global ecosystem and change the way that they look at it, then you did your job. We can genuinely educate people and show them and inspire them and educate them and bring them into the sphere where they feel like they're contributing something greater than themselves. So that's the whole goal of Purple Penguin. It's to raise money for a group that is doing incredible work, but it's more so to get people inspired and invigorated to contribute to these projects for the rest of their lives. That's what really gets us rocking.
Exactly, I think you nailed it really well there, John. It's all about empowering people and letting people know that you can be more than just your own life. You can really do things for everybody without by investing in Pebble or investing in an NFT, you're investing in yourself, but you're also giving back to the environment and you're learning. And a lot of our community members have let their kids try out the mini game because they thought it would be fun to see what their kids liked, and a lot of the kids loved it. They thought it was a lot of fun, but
it's a great
game.
That
child cleaned up and recycled and learned through a game that they're cleaning, and they may not have even been aware that they were cleaning. They may have just enjoyed it, trying to beat the time.
I like that element of it too, because there's going to be a slew of metaverses that build out over the next 5 years. And I mean, there's already some obviously in the gaming space, like Roblox and, you know, I mean, Minecraft, like just in the gaming world as a whole. But the I guess coolest and most active metaverses tend to be not like the overly robust graphic worlds, right? You look at Roblox, you look at Minecraft, you look at, you know, Fortnite. It's something that's available for all ages, and it's about the actual usability. It's about the characters. It's about how it actually feels to play. And that was one thing that stuck out to me about, you know, Nemesis, which you guys built on, is that any age can play on it and really enjoy it, and you don't need a crypto to play it, right? Like you can just,
let's say this: Nemesis is better than Roblox. And again, I love Roblox. I love the team there, but like Nemesis is a pretty high dev game.
That's a big statement.
A little bit better than Roblox.
The graphics remind me a lot of
come on now. Roblox is a little rudimentary. I'm just talking about graphics.
Oh, graphics.
So one was built specifically for it. The other was built for a multitude of issues. So truth be told, Roblox, again, I love the people. I know multiple people that work there. Great company, great metaverse. But that Nemesis.io game is like, it's pretty high def. Like it feels like a real game. Like it feels dedicated to that thing. So that's
also their beta version too. They are going to be giving things a bit of an overhaul as well and fixing some of the bugs in it as well. And as they grow, as far as I'm aware, what I was told is that they've been working on this project for over 5 years now. So this is quite a forethought inside of this. I know that at least 2 to 3 years, based on what I was reading in the white paper when we were helping them with that. So I know that this is a long-term vision with them, and they've really got a lot of technology behind this. And it basically reminds me of like Fortnite meets Sim City. You know, your companion gives you access to build land. You can build out, it's click and place. So it's really simple to build out your land. You can set up art galleries and stores. You can play games. You can have social experiences. It's like the next level of what interaction and social community is going to be. And through blockchain and cryptocurrency, we're able to take that and also add an educational and environmental advocacy element.
You're rewarding people for it. Like you're actually rewarding people for it. Like that's a truly tangible thing that they can do.
The pay to play gaming is really kind of what got me out of gaming, and play to earn I think is going to be very important over the next while. Like how much money have you put into gaming skins and different things over the years, right?
Yeah. And I like what you touched on, John, on how it's going to be on Matic, and that's how you'll actually be minting the OpenSea, because that's the way the space is moving, right? And like until Ethereum 2.0 comes, like we all need Ethereum. It's very much going to be attached to multiple projects, but these PFPs and more NFTs that keep coming out, like we're seeing Solana, you know, crushing. You're seeing Matic crushing. Once smart contracts
Solana's running up right now.
We see Cardano with their smart tracks coming. Like it's cheaper, it's faster. So for those who haven't actually used Matic, I'll put a link on how to do the bridge, because you do need to actually do so with wrapped ETH, and it wraps it for you once you send ETH through the bridge. And then you can do so on OpenSea. Yeah, it's 2 clicks, but if you're new to NFTs, then it's definitely a little bit of
if you're new to NFTs, then Ethereum is still going to be a weird process for you as well. Like that's the thing. So like at Project Ark, like we have a fiat on ramp that's going to be implemented within the next week and a half, and I'm dying to get this implemented for Kevin and Purplepenguin, because I genuinely believe that there is a multitude of people that could hear his message, that are inspired by his message, that want to get involved with this project, but just don't know how to set up a MetaMask and don't know what to do. And if they just could pay with a credit card, it'd be a lot quicker. I genuinely feel like frictionless entry into the blockchain space is the number one thing we can do to make sure everyone starts to see the things that we see, that we see the opportunity, the value, the community that can be created. But with Matic, you're right. Not a lot of people have Matic, but we do have a wrapped ETH option directly on our site. It exists on OpenSea as well. But this, at the same time, Matic is just a layer 2 on Ethereum, but that's where the vast majority of money lives. So having somebody do wrapped ETH is still less, quote unquote, less frictionless than, or less friction than Tezos or Cardano, where you have to have that coin, right? So again, everybody has their opinion. Everybody has that one blockchain that they are ride or die, that they believe is the future of the world. All I give a shit about is that me and Kevin are getting together to put money in the pockets of a group that's going to legitimately save penguins. That's all we care about. We're going to help save lives of penguins in the real world. That's
awesome.
it. That's all we care about.
What's the end goal? Like, what's the vision of this project, right? Because we know metaverses are going to be building out, I mean, 2030, like there's going to be a whole other layer with augmented reality and full immersive technology, right? Like the goal for all is Ready Player One and haptic technology. It's all going to be very, very much immersive. But I guess, you know, what's the short-term and long-term goal of Purple Penguin and working directly with Project Ark?
Kevin, give the answer, and then I'll give my second answer.
Sounds good. So yeah, our goal is to build out a brand and a company that can help multiple climates over the years. Our Penguin's going to go on an adventure and learn about other environments that need they need help and are endangered. And our Penguin Pebble, he's going to go on a little adventure and learn about other climates and other animals, so we can bring in new characters and create multiple metaverses and multiple ways for people to invest and find financial freedom through the opportunities that come with cryptocurrency, and then also be able to give back to the environment. So our idea really is to bring every industry that we've worked in, gaming, esports, investing, music, art, and put them all into one brand, which is Purple Penguin, and then use this brand to educate and introduce families to environmental advocacy, introduce them to cryptocurrency and blockchain technology and NFTs and art, and hopefully inspire people to latch on to something and, you know, take that with them and really, you know, inspire people to do more with their lives and get involved, whether that's through our community, through their own communities, through any opportunity that they see. If they come to our gallery and they see the art and they love it and they want to do whatever it may be related to that, even if it's just finger paint for the day, well, that's awesome. That day they chose to do something cool. It doesn't necessarily have to be career moves all the time. Sometimes it's just trying something new that you may not have tried, and that's just as important. I find a lot of people always focus it on how does this impact your career? How does this impact your life on a grand scheme? And sometimes it's just that day. What did you do that day that was different than normal?
Yeah, light the fuck up.
Yeah, that's great. But there's one thing that you said there that I was going to touch on at the end too is, you know, I love the direction. I love the message. I love how it looks. I love the speed that you guys are building at. But, you know, all the audience is going to ask this too, right? Is as an investor, you know, how can we really see this? You know, are we putting our money in the NFTs? Are we putting our money in Pebble? And then, like, what does that look like as an investor? You know, and how does it encompass into, you know, me building my portfolio while also contributing towards a cause?
Perfect. So Pebble is our main currency. It exists on the Binance Smart Chain, and it's one of the ways that we can donate to the environment. So we have a dedicated wallet that we're going to be donating from. So by investing in yourself with Pebble and the market cap going up, you'll be able to A, make yourself money, but B, also contribute to the environment and contribute to our goals. And then also Pebble is our currency that we're going to be offering in our mini games and through some as a reward program in the Nemesis games as well. So instead of a buyback and burn, we have more of a buyback and redistribute to our community through gaming and by being involved in our events and stuff. So the supply is slightly deflationary because people will obviously sell their rewards. It's not like we're going to just burn them and destroy the tokens. We're going to actually give them back to people. And that's really how we view the investment of going up in value, is that we're working with high caliber companies like Project Ark, and our artwork is done by people who've worked with companies like Marvel and DC. And we have a play to earn gaming element with our token Pebble, as well as a charity element. So, you know, all these different things will cause over time more awareness to come to our token, and more value to come to our token, and more value to come to you as an investor by you know, purchasing our token Pebble. So it's really easy to access Pebble and collect Pebble through the Binance Smart Chain, and you don't really have to do much other than just, you know, let people know that this is something that's both good for you as an investor and for the environment, because we're doing more than just being a Binance token that's milking some influencers to, you know, make a pump and dump. We're trying to make a company here that can make a difference for many years. And you know, Pebbles are what penguins use as a currency, and they use to build their nests, and we're building our nest here, and that's really what this is all about.
Love it.
Kevin walks the walk. Kevin walks the, he doesn't talk the talk.
No, he waddles the
walk.
waddle. That's what he does. He waddles the waddle.
Exactly.
I waddle and belly slide into home base.
That's right. You're gonna toboggan on in.
Yeah.
No, that's, I mean,
Buddy,
you said exactly what, you know,
we
we all want to help the
meaningful.
environment, but I heard play to earn. I heard you make money investing in Pebble because the market cap will go up, right? Like you're going to enjoy yourself. You're going to help the world. Like a lot to take in. And I think a lot of crypto needs more of a good message aligned with just, hey, I'm going to invest in whatever project pops up and hope it moves, right? So I like a lot what you said
about
there.
the money.
Yeah, I mean, I love money, but I also want to give back a little bit when I can as I accumulate. So I like it. John, what's your vision for Purple Penguin as well as Project Ark and Carbonbase? Like, I guess, what's your view of the metaverse long term? All of the above.
Oh, it's a loaded question. Okay, so Project Ark is dedicated to directly funding animal environmental conservation. But it's not just animal environmental conservation. It's anything that pertains to the Sustainable Development Goals. So there's 17 Sustainable Development Goals that people around the world are working towards. I genuinely believe that there are 3 legitimate ways through which Project Ark can sustain its revenue. One is, you can have a very famous artist who drops something, one and done, big provenance, hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions, and that's the end of that. The other is to work with corporations during corporate social responsibility projects. So we're actually starting the Impact NFT Alliance with a number of artists, corporations, organizations, NGOs that want to come under the banner of, we don't know what we're doing, but let's all get together and figure out the best practices and share resources and knowledge and opportunities, and we'll do that. And then the third, which I think is arguably the most important, is let's create NFT for the common man. Let's create, or woman, let's create NFTs that are $20 a pop that give you access to, the Nemesis.io game so that kids can learn, so that people that don't need to be a part of a group that can just educate themselves, that can change the way in which we look upon our role in the natural world. You know what I mean? That can legitimately reflect upon our part in the system, right? Because like, this world is a very interconnected, very complex, very beautiful, but very scary world that we live in. And I genuinely believe that NFTs provide an opportunity to educate, inspire, affect, and bring people into the circle to legitimately change the world. Now, if we get more money, then yes, we can put money in the pockets of the people that are doing a damn thing. They're going to change the world. But in the meantime, I think it's just as valuable to educate 1,000 people as it is to raise $1,000. So for Project Ark, our mantra and I took a massive pay cut to come work for Project Ark, just so you know, but it's because I did so, because I so wholeheartedly believe in the fact that Tupac had a quote, "I may not change the world, but I guarantee I'll spark the mind that will." That's what NFTs can do. We may just spark the mind. It's going to be our next Mandela, our next Tutu, our next whatever, that's going to change the damn thing. So let's work together. Let's stop working in silos. Let's combine resources, knowledge, technology, know-how, and money. And when Kevin calls me up, I'll answer that phone any day of the week. And hopefully we can get on Nemesis.io, make an even better game and get people involved. Because that game is exponentially better than the vast majority of
I really believe in their
games. Way better.
Believe in their platform to be one that stands out.
So good.
That's the thing when I'm looking at projects, right? Is I look at how they're building out, and when I keep seeing more and more names in NFT space, like big names that are making moves, aligning themselves with one project. I mean, that's how I found multiple other projects that have done very well. And so I love the message. Again, I appreciate the level of depth that you guys have shared with me today. I'm definitely going to pick up some Pebble, as well as can't wait for the drop on Friday, get myself a Penguin. Where can people find you guys on social media? Where can they find, Project Ark? Where can they find the Purple Penguin sites? Like where can they find you guys?
Kevin, you go first.
So our site is just Purplepenguin.finance. When we went to set it up, Purplepenguin.com was taken by someone in about 2012. So right now we're at Purplepenguin.finance. Our Twitter is Pebble_Penguin. My personal Twitter is Prof_Quigley. And if you want to reach us to an email, it's really simple. It's just hello@Purplepenguin.finance. and that'll come directly to me. So if that's the easiest way for you, that's really one of the easiest ways for me, because then I can get to you whenever. But slide in my messages, shoot me a message. That's how I meet everybody. That's how I met John. That's how I met you.
Perfect. John?
So I'm currently fighting the team to make sure that project-ark.co hosts Purple Penguin by Friday. It'll happen. Now, that being said, I just wanted to do one quick plug, if you don't mind there, Kev.
Plug away.
Last Friday, we launched snarkysharks.com.
Saw those.
We are raising $130,000 US. Half of it is split between Jeremy McCain and his work with the Ultramarine Summit, where we are actually cleaning up World War II munitions, which are giving toxic vibrations, whatever. They're basically killing sharks. They're giving sharks cancer off the coast of Hawaii. So we need to clean those munitions up. So that's half the money. And the other half is to Sea Legacy, with a wonderful, wonderful group of people that are 21st century storytellers that have a platform that is getting 1 billion people behind the concept of, supporting marine life. So 10% of the goal, at least $130,000 to supporting marine life. And then every single Snarky Shark that you do purchase actually is offset via the carbon, our own, what do you want to call it there? Our own smart contracts on the blockchain. So we're actually planting mangroves. So mangroves have a 30 to 50% more carbon drawdown than any terrestrial forest. They prevent coastal erosion, and they also increase biodiversity, because little fish give birth to little baby fish, and then big fish can't get at them while they're in the reeds. So this is something that we're going to do for Purple Penguin as well. And at the end of the day, for the next 2 weeks, Project Ark is all about marine conservation and Antarctic conservation and whatever the fuck we can do. Because at the end of the day, man, this world is dying. We are, it is legitimately dying. Every single day you see a horrible, horrible news release. And if we could just get together, gamify, talk, learn, share, and support, we could legitimately stop this pattern of destruction and nonsense. And I cannot wait to see what Project Ark and Purple Penguin is going to do, because this is just our little first foray.
Even with this first one, we're going to be able to raise we're going to be able to raise 5 Ethereum with this first one. It's only a small release of 1,000 units. Our next release is about 7,000 units. So, the potential of what we can make for, give back to the environment, and little details like the mangrove thing that I didn't know about. These are little things that we can learn from working together and help share this information with other people. I saw your eyes kind of perk up a little bit there too, and he was talking about that. And I think you learned something today too.
Definitely. No, I appreciate all the education, and that's the goal of my channel, right? Is keep a lookout for projects that are going to be something not only financially, but are actually going to be having an effect, right? So I appreciate the education that you guys have shared with me today, and everyone who's watched this video, I'll put the details of where to find John, where to find Kevin and the projects in the details below. And I'll also throw in a video afterwards to kind of show a little bit more of the gameplay of the Nemesis as well, because again, this was kind of like a 3-for-1. We got to kind of take a look at 3 different projects that are all intermixed. So I appreciate the time, guys. And any last words?
Hold on 1 second. It's all win-win-win. You're going to make money. Buy this, help the world, and make money.
Not financial.
It's a win-win-win scenario. You're always going to make money. This shit is valuable, and you're going to save the world. That's the difference. You can go buy a Bored Ape. It's going to make you lots of money. That's great, wonderful, lightning the bottle. But why not buy something else and then actually create a real motherfucking difference and change the world? That's what we're doing. That's what we want to do with the space. I had to interject. I had to say it. I apologize. Now go.
It's all good. No, I appreciate the time, guys.
All right, John. Thanks very much. I love the energy, John. Cheers, really looking forward to this week.
Always. It's going to be a fun week. Take care, boys.
Cheers, guys.